And hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. Welcome back. Happy Monday. We are back to the regular week. I hope everybody's doing fine. Hope everybody's doing good. Now, I wanted to do this show because, I love opening up the platform to, everybody and giving everybody a chance to let their voice be heard and share their experiences. Because this is, like I always say, it's not always about me. It's never always about me on this channel. It is the GMS family, and we are going to operate as such. So today, it's a little different. I want people to come through and share their experiences in the relationship field, if you will, and share their stories of the worst relationships that they have ever been in. Now, this is completely a choice, so whatever you decide to share today, if you do decide to share today, it's completely up to you. I am not holding a gun to your head. I'm not making you do anything, and I'm also not trying to get you to say anything crazy just for platform's sake. I really want to hear some things that you dealt with or you went through. And ultimately, the whole goal of this is to try to help other people out there, read the signs and see, how other people may have gone through the same things and how you've bounced back from that. If you did, or if you haven't bounced back, maybe we can have a conversation today that'll help you in your journey of, moving past the things that happened to you before. So that's really what I want to try to do today. So if there's anybody who wants to join in today, the link is pinned to the top of the live chat. You can click that link. You will be able to join in on the show, and you can be able to tell your experience, and we can chop it up and talk about that. But I'm not just here to wait for anybody to hit the link and talk. I have so many things to discuss when it comes to relationships that it might take all show. But I would love for people to pull up and share their experiences. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared. You don't have to show your face when you come up here. You have the option to not turn on your camera. You can do however you want to do, but make sure that you are telling it in the most authentic, genuine way. All right. Now, shout out to my GMS fan. Make sure you tap in. We start out every show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. Now, GMS family, I need y'all to do me a favor and let me know if you can hear. Hold on, let me see. I want to make sure I got this right. Let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear that? Let me know if you can hear that. And if you can, I want to make sure that it just plays and it's cool, just like the regular show, because I'm on StreamYard and things are different over here. Let me know if you can hear the music. If you can't, who cares? We'll keep going. Now, a big reason why I wanted to have this conversation is because I see a lot of people still struggle with a lot of the things that should be common sense, or you would think was common sense, but a lot of people don't have that nowadays. And due to social media and different things like that, people's idea of relationships and how they run has been kind of skewed in a way. But this is the thing that I want to do. I want to be able to put a lens on certain situations, and hopefully, if people can relate, or even if they don't relate, or if you may find this down the road, you would know how to maneuver with it. But I was having a conversation earlier this morning on my IG talking about relationships and how people try to live vicariously through the ex. And that causes problems in a relationship because you're trying to compete with somebody who you shouldn't be competing with at all, because you're an individual. You are your own person. But a lot of people will look at the person that they're currently with. They'll look at their ex and be like, damn, that's who they were with, or that's who they were into, or that's what they liked. Let me try to mimic that or try to be like that, because this is clearly what my new person likes out of me. But then it turns into a competition with a motherfucker you shouldn't be in competition with. Now, when it gets really bad is when you start dating somebody who already has a baby/baby mom. That's where things get messed up. A lot of people don't understand that when you date somebody new and they have a child already, there's no way that you are coming first unless that man doesn't value his child or children. And that's just how it goes. When you have a kid, and especially as a man, you make sure you take care of your responsibilities. Even when you are in a new relationship, you got to do what you got to do. Now, granted, there has to be some stipulations, some rules, and some boundaries, because you are in a new relationship. Like, baby mom can't be hitting you up in the middle of the night just to say some shit or just to talk or anything like that. You can't be doing no shit like that. You can't be having no extra meetups and all that other shit. It should be strictly to your child and what y'all have planned for your child. When you have them, when you drop them off, if there needs to be help with certain things, financially, or, need school clothes, you need X, Y, and Z, just different things like that. And exactly, Glittery said, what's worse is when your partner is competing with you. That is the type of shit that makes people resent their partner. And because you love that person, you will stick in a situation knowing damn well there's envy and there's jealousy rolling. We were talking about that earlier as well. Envy and jealousy is actually common in relationships, and people don't understand how common it is. People often feel a certain type of way when their significant other is doing good in life. It's weird. It's a weird concept, because you would hope that the person that you are involved with supports you and is happy for you when you are becoming successful, or or things start to work for you. But a lot of people find it in themselves where they are unsatisfied with their life and unsatisfied with the things that they're accomplishing, and want to be like, damn, how is this happening for this person? They don't even look at you as a partner or as a significant other anymore. They just look at you as somebody who is getting opportunities that they don't have. And you see it a lot. You see it a lot. And it's crazy how some of this shit actually happens in marriages. People's marriages will crumble because somebody ended up becoming more successful than the other. And I used this example earlier during my IG Live. I'm going to use it again. A lot of the things that I do see when it comes to that aspect is usually men being jealous of their woman who may end up having an opportunity where she may become more financially well off than that man. Or if, let's say, she becomes famous or some shit like that and has to move around and has to travel all over and all types of shit. A lot of men get insecure about that because now they're getting into different rooms and they're meeting different people, getting different opportunities, probably meeting people that probably, coexist better with who they are as a person besides you. Like, that's another truth that people don't want to come to terms with, is that there is quite possibly somebody out there that fits you more than the person that you're with. And that's a scary thought for people who are in love with each other already and want to be with each other already. It's a scary thought, but it's something that you shouldn't harbor on, or something that you shouldn't hold on to or have in the back of your mind when you try to establish trust with somebody. Because you can easily throw yourself off course by thinking a whole bunch of random shit and thinking of a bunch of scenarios and possibilities, and so much to the point where you actually believe that the shit is real and that it's actually going on. The mind plays tricks on you, and that shit happens. Now, once again, let me just reiterate, link is at the top of the chat. If you want to join in to talk about a story of one of the worst experiences that you've had in a relationship, tap that link. I will add you into the show and you can talk about it here. Team 642 said, I had a broad hold a gun to my head and sicked a pit bull on me. High school shit, though. Yeah, now that's that young, dumb, crazy mentality. And most likely she's seen some bullshit like that from her mom. See, a lot of things are passed down as well. We got to get out of that mentality too. A lot of the ideas of how relationships should be structured or how they're supposed to be came from an older mentality, and it came from an older generation of people. So the idea of wanting to love somebody, be loyal to somebody, respect somebody, be there for somebody through thick and thin, die for somebody, that I feel like is common sense when it comes to relationships. But how people move, like when it comes to personal shit, like if you have a relationship where there is one person taking care of everything while you do the household chores and all the other shit, cool. If you have somebody who you guys do 50-50 with and y'all take care of everything together equally, cool. I don't think there should be any type of stipulation or any type of stigma on relationships when it comes to people as individuals, because we are just that, individuals. And we all, like I was saying earlier, as we grow older, we grow in our mindset. When we get older, things change. We may be susceptible to changing how we thought about certain things before, or our takes on certain subjects before, or how we move. And as we grow with somebody else, we have to realize that that is exactly what we're doing. We have to grow with each other. So as I change, or as my ideas or my thoughts or my perception of certain things changes, you either have to accept those things or separate yourself from that. Never try to make yourself stay in a situation just because you feel like you're in love with somebody. You have to genuinely want to be there. I genuinely want to be where I am because I know where I want to be. People will put themselves in a situation and sit there because they feel like, oh man, my life will be over, or where would I be without this person, or I wouldn't find nobody like this. Bro, go and experience the world or some shit. Quit holding yourself back. It's a big problem for a lot of people. Jack Jones said, bitch lied and said the kids was mine. She Billie Jean me. Peace every. Whoa. Jack Jones. Sorry to hear about that, by the way. I think that's one of the worst things that can happen in a situation is you being involved with a person, especially as a man, because y'all got to understand the stigma around Black fathers, for one, and wanting to, viciously beat those stereotypes, being a good person, being a good man, being a Black man, a Black father who really genuinely loves his offspring. It sucks when those situations happen because you start to invest yourself emotionally. And that's when people actually start to cripple mentally when things like that happen, because you make somebody believe that you're there for them, or that whatever you guys had was something that was different than anything else. And then once you add a child into it, you make that situation deeper than what you think. And a lot of people play with kids, man. And not in that weird way. I'm talking about they'll be like, oh, they'll just have a kid or get pregnant just to get pregnant without even actually wanting children. You can't play, you can't play with babies, man. And that shit right there is disgusting. And I think that anybody who has ever done some shit like that, I feel like there should be harsh consequences for shit like that. I was just talking about this a couple of days ago, that viral video from paternity court. Young black dude there at paternity court trying to figure out if his kids was his by this big, hefty, caramel ball ass woman. And I ain't got nothing against hefty women, but I'm gonna call you out individually if you are a piece of shit, and it just so happens that she's a big one. So we just gonna put that out there. During that paternity court hearing, he found out that the kids that she was claiming was his wasn't his. And on top of that, she couldn't even tell you who the baby dad was, which I feel like was a lie, because anybody that good at lying and trying to pretend like they had that person, or like y'all really was about to become a family, anybody that could pretend that well and go along with it that long, even after the kids are born, is somebody who they're not dumb. They just know how to get over on people. So I don't think that girl didn't know who her baby dad was. I think she knows, and the fact that it would kill that dude even more to know who it was is the reason why she tried to pretend like she didn't know. But she crushed him. And I don't wish that on no man. You know what I'm saying? The bond that I was able to create with my child, you know what I'm saying? I would hate for that to have been a situation for me. I wouldn't know what I would do. And I honestly don't blame, certain people for spazzing out and losing their fucking mind over some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not just you get pregnant and have a baby within a couple weeks. Like I said, you build it's a mental thing. Mentally, when you're there and you're trying to create a bond with a child before they even come out the womb, that's important. That's a bond. That's a spiritual bond that a lot of the times can't be broken. And because that bond can't be broken, it ends up breaking down the person who it happened to. And I've seen way too many men, you know what I'm saying, have that shit happen to them where they find out that the kid wasn't theirs. It's a very sad situation. What up, Vel? What up, Toe Champs? Now, luckily enough, I wasn't a person that was head over heels for relationships in my younger years. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you about a horrible relationship that I've had because I wasn't into relationships like that. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't. My first real relationship is with my fiance, who I'm with right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's a unique situation in itself, seeing as we have been able to, grow with each other as we have gotten older. You know what I'm saying? Having to, have a child at 21, 22, and basically becoming adults together, you get to experience a lot of things firsthand. And I think it's better in that way. And, we were able to really figure out who we really wanted to be with, which was each other. I think a lot of people don't take that time to really go through the things that they go through and try to learn from it, or try to not even just learn from it, but practice how to bounce back from it, or how to talk through it, how to communicate. Those are the times when you really have to test your relationship, when you guys are able to communicate with each other and actually talk to each other and be there for each other and be open about certain things. One thing that a lot of people tend to do is they try to hide who they really are from people because they're too busy trying to impress the person that they with. You too busy trying to put up a front, trying to pretend to be somebody you're not. And then a lot of the times that who you really are comes out later on down the road when you guys have already tried to build a bond together. And then somebody ends up not knowing who the fuck you know what I'm saying? Oh, how many times have you, I don't even know you. That became a whole line in movies and TV shows because of how much people fake who the fuck they are. Think about that. Have y'all really thought about that? Everybody in the chat right now, answer this question. How many times have you heard in a movie or a TV show or even in real life the phrase, I don't even know you anymore? I don't even know who you are anymore. How many times have you seen that or heard that? That's because people fake who they are all the time. Once you break down that barrier of faking who you are and truly be who you are without trying to give a fuck about how somebody is going to receive you or perceive you, it'll be much better in the dating pool for you. You wouldn't have to go out and try to pretend to be the cool nigga and just being you, and you will attract the people who are genuinely attracted to you. Have you ever thought about the fact that a lot of relationships don't work because of that? A lot of relationships do not work because people put up a front. You have to put up a front to try to get who you're going for. But guess what? It's hard to keep that front up when you actually somebody who wants to be with somebody for the rest of your life. If you are the type of person that wants to get married or wants a partner for the rest of your life, please practice on how to be yourself, your authentic self, even down all the way down to the little weird quirks. Let that shit out, talk about it, let people know what you about and who you are, and you will be able to get through this shit way more easily. It's that people have this idea that they're supposed to have a certain type. We have put this image on people, whether it be the image that men see when they want a woman or the image that women see when they want a man. Their perception is off a lot of the times because they don't know that they actually don't deserve that shit. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. You don't deserve that shit. A lot of people have a fairy tale ending that they know don't exist. You don't, none of that fairy tale, none of that happy ending shit exists without authenticity, without practicing how to be a better person. There's different variables that come into place with living happily ever after. It's not just sitting back and just watching everything fall into place for you. You have to continuously every day be a better person. Shout out to Hitman to 2211. Communication is key. I'm a communication house, so I know. Yes. Also, if you guys have any advice, if you don't, not just stories, because I know, I don't expect everybody to have a fucked up story from a relationship. Even if you have advice, if you want to come in and say some things for people out there that may want to hear some things that can contribute to helping them in their situations. I know there's people out there that have been dealing with shit or have dealt with shit, and either they're getting past it or don't know how to get past it. You know what I'm saying? When people get broken down mentally, that's one thing I hate, and it happens a lot. There's no men do it or women. It's both men and women break their significant others down mentally a lot. There's a lot of this shit going on. You don't have to physically beat somebody to break them. We as a society live with insecurities. And if those insecurities are powerful enough, they can be able to be used against you to break you down. I see a lot of things like that happen where people try to convince their significant other that they won't have nothing better than what they're already with, not realizing that the person telling them that is the biggest insecure person in the world, because they're trying to convince somebody and break them down mentally to try to stay with them because they're not secure enough in themselves to hold some shit down in a respectful and real authentic way. You got to think about that, especially for the people out there that's dealing with relationships right now where somebody is trying to break you down mentally. Remember that the person that is doing that is broken. And the only way that they know how to fix temporarily how they feel is to break you down. What they're saying about you isn't accurate. It isn't true. They're just telling you over and over again to make it true in their world, in your world. Get out of that world. Let them stay in their own world. Get away from them. Because a lot of that shit does turn physical once you start realizing that this person is doing this shit for a certain purpose. Then it starts turning physical. Before it turns physical, get the fuck out of there. First signs of anything turning physical, get the fuck out of Dodge. Does not matter what the circumstances is, who the person is, if y'all got kids together, if y'all share a crib, get the fuck out. Aries said communication is major. For real, lack of it is what usually causes problems. What up, Trey? Hitman said a lot of people are stuck in the theta state, which leaves open to too many suggestions that aren't authentic and true to self. My man said toxic head is amazing. Speaking of toxic, I mean, I was gonna put Blueface and Krishan as like as the face, the thumbnail of this thing, but I don't even want to put them as the face of bad relationships either, because clearly there are people out there who are attracted to that type of shit, aka the toxic individuals. Toxic relationships don't just affect the two people involved, they affect everyone around them. Don't nobody want to have y'all come to the function because they know it is inevitable that some shit is going to pop off. Y'all friend group gets smaller and smaller and smaller because nobody wants to be around the arguing ass couple and everybody trying to have fun. Y'all inevitably are going to put hands on each other. Somebody at some point is going to die. And that to me, I think that's a fact. If you are in a severely toxic relationship, the only way that that's going to end is somebody is going to die. Somebody's going to prison for the rest of their life. Toxic relationships is just the one-up game. How can we one-up on you and how toxic we are? How loud can I get? What can I say? What's the most horrible thing I can say to get under your skin while we going back and forth? Some people don't even know that they toxic. That's even more shocking to me, is that some people don't even know that they toxic. See, I was talking about this earlier. And that's another thing. You got to get rid of the things around you. I was thinking that this shit was entertaining at first till I had to block motherfuckers and unfriend them on different platforms, because I was realizing that the type of shit that they were doing was insane. Remember I was telling you about people trying to live vicariously through their new partner's ex? That's what I was seeing. And it was the craziest shit in the world. You have people who are in competition with their new significant other's ex because they secretly idolized them. See, some of y'all have fell off the wagon. Some of y'all have let yourself go. And then some of y'all continue to lie to yourself like you cool with it. Oh, yeah, y'all, I love this because I'm big and they love my big beautiful self. Well, that's cool, but it would be cool if you actually believed that before you got big. See, I don't know if people understand this, but if you love who you are genuinely, whether you are small or big, you love yourself. That doesn't mean you don't have any problems with certain things about yourself that you want to change. But if you're the type of person that doesn't actively go out here to try to change things and you just want to be complacent about it because you're trying to compensate for something, you look miserable. You telling the world that you're miserable. It don't make no sense to me. What up, Zen Master? King Lukey said, well, I was in a toxic relationship back in 2008. Here's where some red flags. 1, white. 2, she wouldn't tell me her last name. 3, she wouldn't let me use protection while we were dating. Not to mention she cheated on me with 2 other guys. Wish they were black. I wish they were black. Had to get a test and thank God it came back negative and I dumped her. Gay, I was about to say, man, if you didn't get tested after that, you know what I'm saying? You're not checking on yourself. But I'm glad you got tested after that shit. That is the jeez Louise, my guy. And those are the red flags, man. Those are the red flags. When you first meet somebody and they immediately try to go to like extremes, those are red flags. Most likely somebody who is toxic as fuck. Chicks that don't want you to use protection, especially when it's y'all first time doing very bad sign. Very, very, very bad sign. Do not get involved. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. And she like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm on the pill, or don't worry about it. I got the UI or IUD or whatever the fuck it is. No, don't trust it, bro. Get out of Dodge. Now, it's been 30 minutes. I see there's a few people that are nervous, probably don't want to tell a story, probably don't have a story. But like I said earlier, whether you join in to tell a story or not, I got enough to talk about for the entire show. I done wrote down some notes and all this shit. But I do want to hear from some people, man. So if you do have a story, and instead of typing it in the live chat, you want to show and come up here and talk, man, join the show and let me know. Now, I've seen some things. Now, the video that I saw yesterday, and this is what I mean by toxic relationships. There was a video of a woman on in the airport, or not an air. She was on the airplane, in the airplane, who got mad at her boyfriend or husband because he was looking at another lady and she was going off. And I mean, she was going crazy over what she thought she saw. And while people were trying to get her to calm down, because of course you got to calm down an erratic passenger on a plane before you take off, it wasn't happening because her toxic ass couldn't calm down. This is another thing, man. If you ever deal with somebody who can't calm down, who literally can't calm down, I'm talking about any point, you try to calm this motherfucker down and there's no calming them down. They just love to be on fucking 100 all the time. Get away from them. That is a toxic, demonic human being. Demonic. I feel like that's a demonic spirit. If you're somebody who just goes off and you can't stop as a grown-ass individual, you are a demon. Bitch, you're a demon. You are a grown person. You cannot control yourself. You can't even control your words. You have to yell. You have to scream. You have to cuss niggas out. You have to do it. One thing I hate, because I felt like this was a mentality for back in the day when kids were younger, trying to prove something, trying to show out, trying to be all, because they want people to see it. They want a spectacle. They want people to know, oh, I go off. I don't play that shit. To have that mentality as a grown adult where you cannot control your emotions in public specifically, you're a demon. You are an evil demon bitch. And that goes for men as well, men and women. Y'all some evil demon bitches. There's a lot of niggas like that too, especially niggas, especially when y'all out at the club or in any type of function and y'all want and that's a weird part because I feel like women do that shit because they want not just other women but other dudes. They want everybody to see how crazy they are. Dudes, on the other hand, they be trying to do that extra shit so other dudes can see them. Oh yeah, I want that dude across the way to see I'm hard. I want that dude over there to. I want these niggas to know I don't play that shit. So one thing that I've never understood in my life was men who go to the club to impress other men if you are straight. If you are a straight man and you go to the club just so you can talk some shit and try to get into altercations with other men, miss me with that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Now I see we got our first guest today to come on the show. Shout out to my GMS family, Glittery Bubbles. What's going on? How you feeling? Can you hear me?
Hey, I don't know if I need a headset or not. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. How you doing?
Hey, y'all. Y'all can finally
Hey.
sound like a damn cartoon character. I've been told that my whole life.
Oh, no, you sound just fine. You sound just fine. How you feeling, Glittery Bubbles?
Pretty good. I have a myriad of horrible ex stories, not just date stories, but ex stories. But I'll go with just some light work just to get the ball rolling because it seems like 30 minutes went by and nobody wants to call.
Some people be scared to join in, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but I feel like because of this subject too, like it's kind of personal. So I don't expect everybody to really join in like that. But you know, I wanted to give people a chance to come on the show. So I'm glad you did it. Shout out to you for being the first.
Awesome. Well,
and you giving me the chance to smoke something real quick while you tell these stories. So do your thing.
Well, this one time at band camp. No, there's this one time where I was dating this guy when I was in college, right? Mm-hmm. And so I went to Clark Atlanta University, and shout out to the AUC, whoever's out in Atlanta. Hey. And he went to Morehouse. So if you know anything about and at that time, Morris Brown was still open. So if you know anything about the rivalry between all of the schools, like the creme de la creme, if you've seen School Days with Spike Lee or whatever, you kind of know where the beef lies. Like the creme de la creme is a Spelman and a Morehouse. And then Morris Brown was kind of on the hood side, and then Clark was in the middle. Yeah. So I was dating this dude. He was from Morehouse, and I just thought that I got the brass ring. Like he was over 6 feet tall, chocolate, had athletic build. He was just awesome. His parent, like I'm not a churchgoer, but because he grew up at Creflo Dollar's World Changes, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I could bring him home to mom. Like this is awesome. Yeah. So we're dating. We dated for months. And at some point, no, we dated for over a year and a half. We dated for months and months and months. And the one thing about it is that his friends liked me, but his best friend didn't. And I thought it was just a normal, hey, baby G. Hey, hey, mama. So the thing was that, long story short, his best friend didn't like me. And I didn't really understand it until at the end of the story, I'll tell you. Like one day, like every time I came over, he would scoff at me. He had this funky attitude or whatever, right? And then they had moved into this one apartment together because when they were first together, there was like 4 of them. And then they moved into this next apartment and it was just them 2. And me and my boyfriend had come home from having dinner or whatever, and I was going to spend the night at his spot. And when I get to his house, his roommate is naked in his bed, drunk off of Paul Masson. Now,
holy.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe they close. He's like, oh man, when he walks through the door, he's like, oh man, you're in the wrong bed, bro. You're in the wrong bed. And I was like, okay. And then he was like,
or was he?
Right. So he said, let me help you get to your bed, bro. Let me help you get to your bed. And I turned away because I don't want to see this man, whatever. He's like, oh, he's so drunk. And then his roommate was like, oh, bruh, I love you so much, man. I love you so much. And I'm just like, that's great with brothers, being vulnerable with each other, that you love your friends and all that stuff. I'm
But
young.
not
I
with
don't
the
know.
dilsy out. You can't do it with the dilsy out.
I was young. I was so young. So again, I didn't put two and two together. And then like maybe 8 months after that, he had broken up with me saying, and he was really nice when he broke up with me because he was like, I don't have what you deserve. Like, I'm not driving a car I should be driving. I had I don't have my stuff together, and you're a perfect wife material. But I just like, I think we should take a break because of whatever. So a year passes.
Shit.
We have both left school. A year passes, and I'm now working for an adult novelty chain in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I'm in the corporate office. I don't work in the stores. I work in the corporate office. And every year we have a pride float in the gay pride parade because those are our customers. Like, those are the ones who were giving us the money. So because I was in corporate, right, because I worked in a corporate office, I had to go out I had to be on the float. I was like, everybody at corporate had to go. Only some of the people at the stores could go if they wanted to, but I was at corporate, so I had to go. So while I'm coming off, if anybody lives in Atlanta, they mostly start off by Civic Center Station. If anybody knows about Atlantic Civic Center, that's where, back on that strip, is where the floats line up and people find their floats. Different companies find their floats. So I'm on the phone with one of the managers and I'm like, yo, I can't find y'all. I can't find y'all. And while I'm walking, I see my ex holding pinkies with a trans woman. And they're talking like real intimate and stuff like that. And I'm holding my phone like I'm about to drop my phone. Whoever I was talking to was like, hello, are you there? Hello. And I'm just staring. I'm stuck and I'm staring. And the way that they're standing, I'm behind him, but the trans woman is facing me. So when she sees me, here goes the neck roll, and who this bitch thinks she looking at? Won't, and just going off. And he's like, who are you talking about? When he turns around, the way he snatched his hand from old girl and was like, hey babe, how you doing? I haven't seen you in so long. And I was frozen. I was like,
you was froze.
I was frozen. I was like, what do I do? Because I'm like, so then it played back that time that his roommate was in his bed and all this other stuff. So the DL stories are real in Atlanta. Not to villainize it, but they are real. And that's one of the bad stories. So maybe I can kick some things off for other people to call.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
I've been tested, thoroughly tested, and I'm cleaner than the USDA. So don't worry, y'all. I'm on top of it.
I know you good. You good. It's just, I feel like now that you say that, you bring that up, especially in Atlanta, like, I feel like that is one of the things that's probably top on the list that women are afraid of dealing with. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that, like, and it's not even because they're against, the LGBTQ LMNOP community. It's just the fact that motherfuckers trying to come out here in the dating scene and find somebody that they genuinely connect with. And a lot of motherfuckers be out here pretending.
Right. I mean, his church, they were going to World Changes, Creflo Dollar's church every Sunday. I even went with him once and I was like, okay, I respect y'all, but they hustling, bruh. Like, I respect it. I went with his parents, all that hardcore church going. Family was like the Huxtables, like they were still married, all this stuff. And
see, now that's the thing that Cornelius White asked, what attracts you to men with these tendencies? See, the thing is, niggas be pretending.
Right.
So it's like he could be displaying some attributes that she likes, but he is the person that is putting on the front because he thinks he's supposed to be a certain way when he knows he's not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that has a lot to do with, like you bring up the church aspect too. It's like, how typical is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, it's like you put two and two together. I knew where the story was going 2 minutes in. You talk about the church you went to, all this other shit. As soon as you said the roommate, first of all, let me just say, I will never in my life. there's not a time where if I had a roommate where he would even think in his mind, even if he was drunk, that passing out in my room on my bed, butt nilsy with the dilsy out, would be acceptable. You can't be my roommate after that. That's a one and done situation. I'm not picking you up. I'm not moving you. I'm not doing none of that. And
I was like, so Black men, they're so hyper masculine. It's great to see two friends that are really, you know, they love each other and they're afraid to say it, or they're not afraid to say it. I was just like, okay,
yeah,
you know, but yeah, it was something completely different. I was very naive, very.
Hey, Toke Champs, I see you tried to enter. Say with my guy Quick Stanfield. Try to join again. Oh no, if you want to stay, if you got some more stories, I would love to hear them. But I mean, if you want to back out, come back in, whatever you want to do, let me know.
Well, I'm saying if y'all want to hang, but I just thought that, you know, if it's guys, I didn't want to interfere with the bros.
Oh no, we got the mute button. It's all good. And on top of that, you can contribute to these stories. We're talking about relationships. You know what I'm saying? We need a woman's perspective anyway. Right. He said butt nilsy with the dilsy. Yeah, man. You can't be butt nilsy with the dilsy as my homeboy at all in any circumstances, bro. Unless some shit happened where the house caught on fire and your clothes got lit up and you just ended up that way. Then I'd help you out. But not in that way. Hey, my brother, what up, Quick? What's happening?
What's going on? What's going on, y'all? What's up, Glittery?
Hey, how's it going?
I was doing real good till I seen that butt nilsy with the dilsy. That's a cold one right there, boy. You never know too. You thought he was helpful around the house. Ooh, girl, he do the dishes. He be helping he be separating the clothes and shit, girl.
He did though.
He was doing everything right. So you woke up in the morning, he was cleaning the whole crib. Motherfucker smelled like pie salt. He said, "This nigga's good."
Yeah, you should have known by the color of that apron.
What's going on, Quick, man? What you got for us today, brother?
I got a cold little story, man. Now I'm gonna preface this by saying, you know, I'm in a happy, loving relationship now, man. But before then, I was in a 10-year relationship, man, with a cute, shy girl, little homely woman. You know, I would do my little stuff, and I was never, you know, I'd be like, hey, look, I'm going out. You know what I'm saying? There might be some girls. I'm going to go out with the girls, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was always honest. And she would always just, oh, okay, no worries. I watch the kids. Whoop, whoop. I never thought nothing of it, which was sign number one. I should have, anybody that agreeable, you know what I'm saying? I should have already knew. But to make the long story short, I had 2 kids with her 10 years and find out later on she was sleeping with her sister's husband the whole time.
Ooh, whoa, holy moly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What?
The whole time. And it was so cold because the sister called me first, like, hey, get your clothes ready. We finna go to the room for a couple days. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is she talking about? And then I'm like, hold on, I gotta call on the other line. It's her crying. Look, my sister's gonna call you. She's got some videos. I was drunk. And I'm like, what in the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it came out cold. Oh, wait. Yeah, man, it came out cold. So let that be a message, man. Any of these agreeable, if you're too agreeable, yeah, I mean, it's good to, you know,
ain't no pushback. You ain't got no pushback in your soul. You just agree to everything.
I'm talking about she let me move females in the house. I mean, I'm bringing bros. I mean, all that. She was just extra agreeable, bro. And I never thought, I'm thinking I'm the man. Oh, man, I got 2 bros in the house and whoopty whoop whoop. And the whole time, she like, I'm doing my due.
Well, what if she was like a Kevin Samuels worshiper or something, and she just like, oh, I want to, you know, submissive, and I'm fun, fit, and flirty, and all that other stuff. Like, there are those out.
Her morals are coming into play because who she chose to do the do with is the horrible part.
That's why you my boy, because that was what I told her. I said, look, if you wanted to get some get back, it's a player's way you can do that. You know, you go to another city, you do a whatever, something that don't get back to me. I got to see this nigga at the family reunion, Christmas, birthday.
Right.
Like, looking upside my head.
She was doing that shit because she was in love.
Right. And that's how I took it. And so, you know what I'm saying? It was, and what it was good for me because it made me step back and look at myself because I was the fucked up person. That's what it made me think. Like I was doing all type of scandalous stuff, and then it made me be better. Cold part to say, it made me be better for the next person, but that's low key kind of what it did.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it gave you signs to look for. Like you said, the motherfucker was too agreeable. It's like, nah, I need some pushback or some shit. Like, I'm testing you nowadays. I'm like, hey, you trying to go skydiving, bitch? She's like, yeah, let's go skydiving. He's like, see, I told you, motherfucker, you too goddamn agreeable.
Man, I'm talking about too agreeable. I'm talking about that. And after it's done, you start thinking back, like you get the flashbacks, like, whoop, this time, like every time I'm like, yeah, I'll be gone for a week. I'm going out with no worries, honey. I'll call you every day on the hour. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, never thought about it.
See, that's crazy because the thing about that is you dodged a bullet in more ways than one. It's one thing for, somebody to go out and do something heinous like that with their sister's husband, but at the same time, it's like she's willing to do that to her sister.
Right.
What is she willing to do to you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And be glad that was the worst of it out of whatever,
Her mind so twisted. After me and my wife got married, this is 6 years down the line. Me and my wife got married. We got 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? I got my own spot. We doing our thing. She called me like, well, I thought me and you was trying to get back together. You married her and whoop. I'm like, are you insane? Like, you're insane.
Man. Foodster, I want you to join this live, Food. I want you to join this live and talk about Anonymous. That's my brother right there. I want you to talk about Anonymous, motherfucker, because we can go on and on and on and on, and we talk about Anonymous, motherfucker.
Well, but, Anonymous, that's crucial.
Yeah. He know who Anonymous is. I could speak on a bad relationship that I know of that I was around trying to help. Because I mean, I know we've also been around several people who have been in bad situations, and we've tried to like talk to them and try to help them through this shit and be like, yo, this and that, and you should look for this, or she's doing this, or he's doing that type of shit. I don't think this person really fuck with you, and they try to stay in the shit. And you kind of let them, like, you can only say so much until you let somebody find it out for themselves. And I had a homie who got with this girl. He really wanted to get with her. He was trying to do everything in his power. And this is a sack chasing bitch. This is a motherfucker that if you got something that she can use off you, she'll fuck with you. And it was obvious because of the type of dude she was choosing. She was only choosing drug dealing niggas. She was only choosing motherfuckers that had bread and that she could use, but will go around and be fucking on other people and then let that dude, like the dude had to be a simp as well. She had to find a simp with bread or a simp that was dealing, because you can't do that with no nigga that does not need you. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do that shit with a motherfucker that does it. You are not a necessity. You're not even a want. You're just something that's here to fuck on when I'm in between my cells, motherfucker. She was trying to be in relationships with these people while trying to play them and shit. So my guy, he was infatuated. He liked the girl. He wanted to try to go and do all this shit, whatever. Trying to hang out with her. I seen she was only around to be around him because he had a little bit of, bread from doing his little shit or whatever, working really, not from the street shit, but just working. And got this man so down, and she was robbing this man in his sleep, and I had to go and get this man's money back for him because he woke up one morning and called me talking about, yo, this bitch, while I was asleep, she went through my shit, man. She took my weed, man. She took my money and blah, blah, blah. She's out there right now with the other dude. Oh, they're at the mall shopping, blah, blah, blah. I said, nigga, why are you calling me? What the fuck you want me to do? You act like some big nigga took your shit and I'm supposed to come and beat his ass or some shit. This your chick you fucking with. You supposed to go do some shit about this. Why you calling me? But he was like, yo, we got to go to her mom's crib because they spent the night at her mom's crib. He didn't realize till he got back home, whatever. He's like, we got to go to her crib. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'll go with you. Go with him to the crib. We knock on the door. Her mom answers, oh, hey, how are you? She never met me in her life. So I'm just showing up to this random person's house. I'm the big black nigga. She's, oh, hey, who are you? I'm like, hey, I'm so-and-so. Yeah, and he was like, he was scared. He didn't know what to say. I'm like, how you not saying nothing? Like, this her daughter. She should be able to get in contact with this bitch and regulate this shit. So he was scared. So I had to talk for him. I was like, listen, ma'am, your daughter stole from this man while he was asleep here. She was like, sleep here? She didn't know he was asleep there. She didn't know he was over there. He was like, yeah, I was over here. I slept over here while I was asleep. Your daughter took some stuff and left me here. So I had to like sneak out and drive home. But I didn't realize, so I left. She's like, what did she take? Long story short, the girl never gave him the money back, never gave him his shit back, tried to lie and say she didn't. This nigga ended up in tears or some shit for the day and like on some weak nigga shit. And I'm just like, bro, we have been telling you about this woman ever since you got with her. Now, Glittery.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how this story ended?
Yes, but I think in his defense, I feel like, because for me, it's very hard for me to keep female friends. And I know chicks say that a lot, but it's really hard for me to keep female friends. But for my homies that I've had as male friends, there's always one like this that men have to go through to get the game. Like it's some sort of rite of passage. You always got to have one that does like thin line between love and hate type antics for y'all to get the game. Because if you don't, some people got to touch. I used to say this to my ex because he was one of the types. You have to touch the blue flame to prove that it's hot. Like y'all just be like, oh, it's so pretty. But if you touch that bitch and you burn your finger off, then that's when you realize, okay, yeah. But how did it end?
Well, she had him wrapped around her finger because how it ended was so like I said, she was dealing with another guy. So like her story was like, she to me is the equivalent to that one crazy bitch in Casino. You know what I'm talking about? The one, I forgot her name, man, but the one that was in Casino, man, she was going crazy with this nigga the whole time. Like I don't know what the fuck was wrong with her, but I fucking forgot her name, man. What was her? Somebody help me out in the chat.
Sharon Stone.
What you say?
It's Sharon Stone, isn't it?
No, but her name in the movie.
Oh damn. I don't know. That's crazy.
It's a name, Ginger.
Is it Ginger?
Is it Ginger? Are you sure?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
She said Ginger. Whatever her name was, she was the equivalent of that lady, where she only cared about the materialistic shit, the money shit. So she always had that one person she went back to. It just like Casino. It was always that one nigga that was always coming around, always had the shit, always milking her for her shit, all that shit.
Roger.
She had this one nigga, bro, that she could not get away from. As much as my guy was trying to tell her, get away from him, I got you, she could not get away from him because she had a bond with his family and all that shit. So one day, my dude found out she was back over there, spent the night getting them cheeks clapped. And he pulled the unforgivable, guys. This was when I stopped being this man's friend. This was the day I stopped being his friend. He came over to my spot one day. We was chilling. We was smoking. Him and his sister came over. We was chilling, smoking, talking about the shit that happened. Then all of a sudden, now chat, I'm telling y'all not gonna believe this shit, but it really fucking happened. He's standing in my kitchen. He gets a call, right? He puts the phone on speaker and he's just talking all regular and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm hearing a person talking. They talking about like an investigation or some shit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, is he on the phone with an officer? Like, I'm thinking he's on the phone with like probation or some shit because he done caught a couple charges at one point. Whatever the fucking case may be. Do y'all know that this man was on the phone with a detective snitching on the nigga she was fucking? Got this man's house raided. His mama and daddy's crib. They got all their guns took. They got all their weed took. They got everything took.
That's not funny, man.
Bro, he got off the phone. I'm like, bro, what was that? What was all this shit that you just did in my living room? He said, well, it's a long story. No, it's not a long story, motherfucker. What did you just do?
Damn.
Nigga, it's the episode of the haters ball on Chappelle's show.
Oh, the ultimate hater. That is the ultimate hater. I couldn't believe, bro. I said, yo, I can't even. Nah, I'm sorry, man. And we have not kicked it since. Matter of fact, any OGs from when we first started, and y'all know, especially back over on M from New York's channel, if y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, because I've mentioned that white man before, and I've called him out by name. I've showed his face on that stream before. But just know that man told because his bitch was getting clapped by her main nigga.
You better watch yourself. You better watch yourself.
Man, look, I have no communication with this nigga. He don't know nothing about my life. Everything he would ever say is speculation, goddammit. I could not fuck. I said, if this nigga will go to this extent for some pussy that don't even want him like that, oh my God, get this nigga away from me.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Oh my God.
All right.
Because I don't get cops involved in nothing, but I will say that I have heard that crazy chicks have the best sex. That's what I've heard. I don't know how true that is.
Hey, I've heard this as well, and I will say this clearly. Clearly, that must have been the case because this nigga found out his girl was getting back shots. And decided to immediately call a detective. He put the FBI on speed dial. He was that fucked up. That shit crushed his soul. He's like, I'm telling, officer.
You know when the police came over there to get his statement, he was crying and shit.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly.
I loved her, man.
I did everything for this bitch. You know she robbed me. Did you know that?
When you were over there, can you look for my shirt that I gave her on Thursday?
Yeah. I want my Halo 3 shirt back. Okay, right. Bitch. I won that in a tournament. Right. That's true. That motherfucker was a gamer. He liked Halo and shit. You punk bitch. I don't give a fuck about people being gamers, but you should have stuck to that instead of trying to chase these hoes because you clearly didn't know what the fuck you was doing. Stupid ass. Damn. And this nigga told on me. This nigga told on me. He already told on me. He already snitched on me. And this happened back in way before that shit happened. This was in high school. Speaking of relationships, my fiance knows this story. I had a trifecta going on in high school. I was going into my sophomore year. I had a triangle. I had this girl at my school, that girl at another school in another city, and another girl over here in another city. None of them had friends. None of them had any type of communication. They didn't know each other. They would never know each other. But listen, this is what really stopped my player days. When you hear what happened, this motherfucker ended up liking out of all the girls in the school. Listen to me. Out of all the girls in the school, this motherfucker wanted the one that I was trying to chop up in the triangle.
Dang.
And this motherfucker went on Facebook and messaged this girl to tell her that I had that girl and that girl and gave them the names and sent this bitch off to go message their ass and tell on me.
Yeah, so he been a detective.
He been a rat. He been a talking ass bitch.
Ratatouille face.
And I still was fucking with that nigga after that because I didn't have the sense of how fucked up that was at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sophomore in high school. Oh, I got caught. I got these 3 bitches going off on me at the same time. Fuck y'all. I'll just go do something else. But when you get older and realize like the type of shit, the do's and don'ts, especially with your homeboys and the people that you call friends, that nigga had it out for me.
Yeah.
Right.
That was crazy.
There are guidelines to the bros before hoes. Like there's guidelines to that, and he is.
It's not even that, right? Because I feel like when ladies say that, it has a negative connotation, right? I think it's more, you don't tell somebody's, even with females, you don't just tell somebody's business. That's really not your business. Look, whatever he's doing, man, let that man do what he's doing. It's gonna come to light anyway. It's not your business to go and unless it's something like heinous. You know what I mean? Like unless it's some heinous shit. But other than that, I feel that's
most niggas are not good at being players. Most niggas are not good at trying to juggle women. It's not. Eventually, you will get caught. Eventually, your shit will come to light. Eventually, it'll fuck up everything that you got going on. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just some niggas like him. They don't understand the consequences that come behind the shit, because when you do that type of shit, like he ended up dating the girl, they was in a relationship. This nigga was on the train tracks dancing and shit, trying to confess his love. Like, bitch ass nigga.
You dated chick got smashed? Are you serious?
We didn't. What's that? That's the thing. We didn't smash. I didn't even get a chance to hook up with this girl. I never got the chance to even hook up with this girl or anything. We was in the talking stage. We were just cool. Everybody knew we was talking. That was the thing. Like back where in the school I went to, if you started talking to a girl, everybody knew y'all was talking. Everybody knew y'all was trying to date or whatever. He stopped all that shit because the person that I actually was dating and in a relationship with back in my sophomore year went to another school. And that's what made me mad, because she found out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, oh, you actually gonna get me caught up with the motherfucker I actually like? I don't like these other two bitches. I was just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this nigga. But you don't really think about it like that.
You should have cut it off there. But see, what he don't know is that even makes the female look at you a certain kind of way. Because look at how you did that. So now she already got you on like a side burner kind of. You know what I mean? Because that you did your homeboy like that, so she already know you're not loyal.
Well, I mean, it ended with him getting cheated on by this girl anyway. You know what I'm saying? She was a cabin bitch. You know, them white bitches love to go to cabins and shit. And when they go to cabins and start getting on them fucking tubes on the boat and shit, they start meeting Chad and shit. And Chad is all cool at the bonfire and shit. And at the bonfire, Chad was like, "Yeah, you don't need that dude because he's probably out there fucking one of those rich prissy girls. You need a country boy like me." And she's like, "You're damn right. Take those American flag swim shorts off and let me get it."
You sound like you know it, Chad, nigga.
I've seen this happen so many times in my life, bro. Let me tell you something. Bonfires are dangerous. All right. You go to a bonfire, motherfuckers get drunk off of whiskey they found in their parents' cabinet. Next thing you know, one of these niggas' girlfriends is getting smashed in the tall grass. And you don't know what the fuck going on. Motherfucker came out with swamp dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit, white people are crazy. Let me just tell you, I've seen some crazy shit. I am a master observer. I see everything that go on. I've saw so much shit happen over the years. It's ridiculous. Like, I can't even get into it, man. There's so many stories from back in high school. Yeah, ask away.
Question. So tell me how you maneuver this. Let's for what is the word I'm looking for? For argument's sake, let's say me and Quick are dating, right? Mm-hmm. And you are his best friend. I know you got a wife, so tell her don't come to cut me.
Hold on.
So me and him are dating, and I come to you, GMS, because some girl had hit me up on social media saying that they were doing this, that, and the next thing. And I went to him and he denied it. So then I'm coming to you like, have you heard of this bitch, Tanya? She hit me up or whatever. And she said that he did this. Have you heard of her? Because she said she know you. How do you play that as his homeboy? How you play that?
Oh, that's easy. The first
so I'll be like, let me say this. I will be like, first of all, that is y'all business. Second of all, I don't know a Tanya. So if there's anybody hitting you up, ask yourself, is there somebody that's mad at this man? Is there somebody that wants revenge on this man? Is there somebody that wants to try to ruin this man's life and something good that he has going on because he finally found happiness away from toxicity?
I like that.
Then have a motherfucker sitting there with the wheels turning, talking about some damn, you right. These bitches are fucking crazy. Meanwhile, the whole time she was right.
Right. Exactly.
Your answer way better than mine.
What was you gonna say, quick?
Your answer way better than mine, sir.
Yeah, what was you gonna say?
I would say half of what you said, right? So look, hey, I don't know no Tanya. That's kind of y'all business. And as soon as I finish, I'm not gonna do all that extra though. I would just hang up with her, call him right back. Hey, look, man, you and Tanya gotta you better tighten it up. Tighten it up, bro. Because it's out there. It's out there, bro.
Y'all niggas better tighten it up.
Yeah, bro. Girl just came over here, brother. I don't want y'all in the street, my nigga. Go ahead and tighten that up, brother. And that's how you do that. That way you play it both ways. I'm not disrespecting a female, and I'm not putting his business out, and I'm letting him know in no uncertain terms. You know, you out there. So, you know, you can either tighten that up and leave it alone or do whatever, or let her know or whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah,
that's kind of how you put it.
Because these young kids don't move like that. So that's old school. I appreciate that. I do. I respect that.
I think it's also important too, like I said in the beginning, man, you got to make sure that you are honest and authentic as much as you can in the beginning with whoever it is you're dealing with, because I mean, we at this point, we can't be dealing with surprises. We can't be dealing with, you know, the hidden agendas and shit. If you are a man who wants multiple partners or just wants to go out and have fun and mess around or whatever, make sure you tell your partner that, because you know, regardless of how you feel, how things should be, you are ultimately putting somebody in a mental space, in a negative mental space, when you treat somebody that way without actually telling them who you are and what it is that you like or whatever it is that you into. You're gonna send somebody and fuck somebody else up. It's gonna be a chain reaction, because now that you fuck that person up mentally, the next person they get with, they got to deal with the backlash and the back end of whatever it is that they dealing with because of the shit that you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So being upfront and being honest in the beginning is actually going to help that person if they want to be with you or not, and be like, all right, that's cool. That's not what I'm into. We can be friends or some shit, but I want to go find somebody that I want to, you know, coexist with. So now next time she or he goes and finds somebody new, now they have the option to be like, so what it is that you into? Are you the type of person that wants multiple partners? You the type of person that want to go mess around? Now they know what to look for before getting into some shit.
Right.
Because you do got to ask those questions as well. It's not just up to the person to tell you, because not everybody is going to be honest and upfront, especially with somebody that they want to get with.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Are we being controversial? We kind of lay this. We can.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Just say what's on your mind.
But if you want to, if we saying honest, do we say, are we saying females or men or whatever should be honest all the way around? Because it's kind of going, because now it's kind of going around to where, you know, men or women who may have, you know, been men or women before, they feel they don't have to tell you that they used to be what, you know, the other, whichever gender it may be. So like, do you think that is something they have to be honest about?
As far as what? Somebody say that
somebody being a transgender person. Do you think they should?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, of course. And I think, as a matter of fact, it should be, it is morally wrong, in my opinion, not to be, and that it goes along with being honest and upfront. If I'm being honest and upfront as a man to tell a woman that I'm trying to be with that I am this type of way, I like this type of shit, and I'm that way, is the same thing as a trans person telling somebody, hey, I'm trans. And I don't think it's that hard to tell somebody you're trans, seeing as that is what you identify as, and in this society, is as loud and proud as motherfuckers are, you shouldn't have a problem telling a motherfucker you trans. To me, if you're stopping yourself from saying that, or if you're hesitant from saying that, it's not. And I get the, you know, some people saying that they fear for their life or they fear for whatever, but it's all about the approach. If you're a motherfucker that's in the club you're trans, you walk up to a man, you don't know if they're straight or if they're gay or if they swing that way, and you just start immediately going up, dancing with them, trying to interact with them, trying to flirt or whatever, then you are putting yourself in a position to have somebody react to you in a negative or maybe even violent way. If you walk up to somebody though, and you be like, hey, how you doing? I'm so-and-so, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And y'all having a conversation. In that conversation, you tell them you're trans and give them the option to be like, yeah, I'll stay here and have the conversation. Or, yeah, I know I'm not feeling that. Let me walk the fuck away. I'm pretty sure things will not end in a negative way like you think they would years ago. I don't see it happening that way.
I want to bring another aspect to this as well, because a lot of trans men and women feel like, and I get it, that's fair, where they don't want to disclose due to the safety and stuff like that, but they don't factor in the fact that people who are dating you can also be targeted for violence as well.
Yeah,
because it's like you a lover of that type, or you a whatever, and they can get beat on, whereas they didn't even have a choice whether to ride with you or not because they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like some people will just be like, all right, like especially women are more likely to be with a trans man than men are willing to be with a trans woman. And so when some people don't want to tell nobody nothing, you never know who will be like, you know what, I'll ride with you. You cool enough. I'll ride with you. You don't even give them that option. And before you know it, like a woman who will deal with a trans man, there's some violent cis men out here that will make an example out of those girls.
Yeah.
So there's also another, it's deeper than just them. I understand that we're raising the flag and doing our little social justice marches and stuff for them, but y'all also are putting other people in danger too by not telling them that. Because the same people will do something to you, will do something to them too.
Yeah.
Right. Now another thing you just kind of brought up now is that for a man to be honest too, because a lot of men nowadays, used to be with men and stuff like that, and then now they're with women. Should a man tell you, hey, look, I used to, talk to men and stuff like that? Does that go that way too?
I would say yeah, because just like if you had, I would say yes. Like full
ain't no turning back. I don't think ain't no turning back.
Nobody, because I would want, if you got a crazy baby mama, right? Like you can say you got kids, that's one thing. But to warn me that chick was crazy and the last chick that you was with, she busted your windows out the car, is something you might want to let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because that person is connected to that kid and that kid ain't going nowhere. So it's kind of like the same thing. Not completely the same, but it's if you've dabbled over here, it will help to just disclose everything, depending upon how far we go, but it will just help.
Nigga, once you are interested in men, you are interested in men, dog. And you can go and be like, well, I'm tired of it for now, and go over and go fuck with some women if you want to, nigga. But you gonna eventually go back. Ain't no. I just felt like this today, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I see. And here's the thing: I'm not gonna say completely that's the truth, because I've seen a lot of people who are trans talk about how they regret, surgery and shit like that, and talk about how they wish they never did certain shit like that. But that doesn't mean that they wish they weren't trans. They just wish that they didn't have, you know what I'm saying, the surgery done. So it's not like they were like, oh, I don't want to be a trans person anymore, or like I'm not attracted to who I'm attracted to. They just regretted the surgery part of it all. So it's not, trust me, once you go a certain way, motherfucker, that you are interested in it.
Right.
You were curious, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the way I think about it. As a man, I can see. But that's how we think though as straight men. I couldn't ever think of doing something like that and then thinking I could go back to being a regular dude again. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe that. I don't think a nigga doing that.
Yeah, that's me.
And I solely believe that because of the strict love I have for women, where I've never been curious to be like, well, what are men like? I've never been curious to do that. So if you were curious to try to find out what the fuck it's like to be with a man, motherfucker, you're interested in something.
Right. I've never even seen that. I've never even thought that way. So that's why we think like that. But it's, I guess, I don't want to say it like this, but I guess it's different nowadays. People are different and they're more accepting of things like that. And maybe we just don't. Maybe we're just the older generation and we just don't accept it. But I just feel as a man that that's kind of the way it is. Females can do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where it's funny because women can tip the line like, oh, I was just out here, I just made out with my friend, and that was because we were just partying and we was off the Casamigos and we was lit in the club, and she just lip gloss was popping. I say, let me taste that. Next thing you know, they just start kissing and shit, and then that was it. We just have fun. That's my boo.
I done been in some situations where I'm like, hey, is you I know we've been together for a minute, but the way you was doing that.
Nah, man. You look like you really wanted to do that shit.
And like for a minute, I don't think I was in the room. Was I in the room for a second right there?
That's the thing. It has and this is gonna be fucked up to say, man. But it's like, how would a woman react, right? If your girl out, and it's a regular thing where when her girls are around, her friends are around, they be partying, they be grinding on each other, doing that extra shit what girls do. What would you do?
Feeling like a lot of that shit is for show for dudes. But maybe I'm like, I don't. I think that's for show for dudes. I really do. Sometimes I be feeling like, not to say that there's not bi women out there, but I feel like when they put 10s on 20s like that, y'all just put on a show for dudes so you can like. Have you ever heard when you go to the club? When guys go to the nightclubs, they go for women, and then when women go for nightclubs, they go to pretty much compete with other women. The dick will be there, but we competing with each other. Well, that's what I be feeling like that is.
What would women do? What would y'all women do if y'all was in the club, y'all was with y'all girls, and y'all dude and his friends were there, and next thing you know, y'all girls turned around and see y'all niggas grinding on each other just because they want to have fun? How the fuck would y'all feel about that shit? Would y'all feel weird? Would y'all want to still be in the club with y'all nigga? Would y'all still want to be seen with this nigga? He was like, wait, where y'all going? We was just trying to have fun. We was just partying, man. It's just me and my niggas, bro.
You looking at it the wrong way. They just put
that shit crazy. That shit crazy. That shit would be crazy as fuck, bro. That's why, and it's crazy. Like, I don't want to think about it that way when it comes to females and whatnot, but it's like, you never know, man. The double standard exists. So it's like, if the double standard gonna be there, it's like certain shit we gotta live with, certain shit y'all gotta live with. You know what I mean? Right, but not in a way of like being disrespectful or, overstepping boundaries and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta maintain the respect and all that shit. But you know what I'm saying? If there's some double standards we gotta live with, y'all gotta do the same thing. Now, this is what I'm gonna do, man. Glittery Bubbles, Quick Stand Phil, thank y'all so much for pulling up. I'm about to bring up my fiance so we can close out the show and we can have a conversation, this motherfucker. So I want to thank y'all so much, man. Chat, I want y'all to thank Glittery Bubbles and Quick in the motherfucking live chat right now for pulling up on me and having a great discussion and sharing their stories with us today. I appreciate y'all, GMS fam, OGs for sure.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Tell Baby G, give her my love. That's my boo. I love her.
I'm bringing her up now.
Yes, ma'am. See
you later, mama.
Hey. All right, man. It was good to be on.
All right, now.
All right, y'all. Y'all be good. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So you had me on as soon as y'all were done with the spicy stuff.
Well, I mean, I was kind of there already. What did you want to add for today?
Overall, just the theme seems to sound like no good comes from deceit. Truthfully, you want to, build something genuine and you don't want to get played, then present yourself the same way. And I know that's hard to do because we want to put ourselves forward like the best versions of ourselves. But it's possible to do that while being honest at the same time. And that's just what I was getting from the whole conversation. It's no good comes from deceit. So, two wrongs don't make a right. Some of that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we know that personally in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Us just growing and being able to understand each other better and try to communicate better, and just honestly, I feel like, respecting each other more and the things that, we expect out of one another and continuing to work on that as well, because it's not easy. It's not a 1-day thing, a 1-year thing. You know, when you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you guys continue to grow and you continue to, you know, change, but, you know, change for the better, hopefully.
And together.
Yeah, and together and being a unit. Because honestly, what people forget when it comes to relationships as a whole is that you need to be with somebody who is there for the long haul, who is with you because they want to be with you, not because
Despite any
of
ugly truths and any of that other stuff. Yeah.
And you have to learn to grow with somebody. When, like I said, if you're not willing to grow, if you're not willing to better yourselves at any point in time in a relationship, that's when you know that you need to get away from somebody. You know what I'm saying? When you guys are starting out at a certain level, like I was explaining before, Deion Cole, you know, he had it was a comedy special he had, but it's something that stuck out to me was the levels in life. When you and somebody get together and y'all right here, and you're the person in a relationship that wants to continue to elevate and continue to grow while somebody is staying right here, that's how you know that that person was there for a certain level in your life. When you both are trying to get and go and gradually grow and gradually get up into a certain point and elevate with each other, regardless of where y'all are at, knowing that you both are trying to elevate and none of you are trying to be stagnant or stay in the same place, that's how you know that this is a person that you want to be with and somebody that you should and need to have in your life, regardless of their position or regardless of your title. This is a relationship in so many different ways has to have those key components, whether it be a relationship between lovers, a relationship between friends, and a relationship between family. You have to understand that there are certain attributes, certain things and characteristics in people that you have to look for, that has to be there to make things work.
Right.
And they don't all necessarily have to be there at once. They can gradually come in time, like I said, as you grow and as you continue to elevate and progress with this person. But you have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to put the work in. You have to be willing to communicate. You have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to accept certain things about people as well.
And that takes a level of vulnerability that not a lot of people are comfortable with. And that's a big part of it too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's facts, man. And that's and this is, and you know, me and Arius are gonna do a show, you know, at some point and just, you know, have another relationship talk and just talk about our relationship and talk about us and how we grew together and how us becoming parents and, you know, trying to, you know, maneuver through life as, you know, becoming adults together, you know, basically like we had to become adults and we had a lot of things that we had to deal with, a lot of things that we went through, a lot of things that we overcame, a lot of great times, all this shit, and that we will continue to have as we grow together. But because we know that, you know what I'm saying, this is why it works for us. You know what I'm saying? Expect the unexpected, but also be the best version of yourself while expecting that out of your partner as well. While your partner also wants to expect the best out of you and themselves. Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to leave y'all with today.
We got to do some more of these.
We definitely will. We definitely will. So I appreciate you, baby. Thank you for pulling up. I love you. I'll see you in a second. I'll come out there in a minute. You right downstairs. I'll see you. Y'all. Love you. GMS fam, the green room. Thank y'all so much, man. Today was a great show. I want to thank y'all, Glittery Bubbles, my guy Quick, of course, Arius for pulling up today. It was a very good show. I want to try to do this more often, man. I want to try to get more people incorporated with the show and with, you know, these conversations. I know I do, you know, mostly topical shit, you know, talk about certain things that's going on in the culture and shit like that. But you're going to see a shift, a little bit of a shift in this channel. We're going to continue to keep it, you know, topical and do the topic shows, you know, and everything like that. But I want to take the time out of the week and out of certain days for us to, you know, come together as a unit, as a family, and talk and you know, conversate. And I want to see where y'all at, man. I want to learn more about y'all, and I want y'all to learn more about me, man. So I appreciate y'all. GMS fam, the Green Room. It's been a great show. I don't have any outro music because I'm on StreamYard, but we will get back to the regular scheduled programming this Wednesday and this Friday. 3Gs will be back, so make sure you pull up to that this Friday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my guy AP. Shout out Pac G. Shout out Binky. We love y'all niggas. GMS fam, the Green Room. One love, man. Put a GMS in the chat. I want to see y'all in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about today's show. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, if you just want to put a GMS, it don't matter. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, all that good shit. One love, y'all. We out.